I'm the realist.
Let's chop it up.
Okay? This Dre was feeling a little heat, that it might not happen. He took matters into his own hands, drove to Joe Lacob's house, did a little bit of begging, and Joe said, I'll tell you what.
Draymond.
Here's the deal. Clean up your act.
Oh, stop.
And we'll take you back.
Dude, I almost crashed on my scooter coming in here like, that's what I'm talking about, Steiny. That real stuff.
All right, well, Draymond's under contract. He's going to be here for the next 4 years. What did you – and we're gonna play Joe Lacob starting at 10:30, a lot of the sound bites.
Just a great interview by the fellas, man.
What'd you think of the way he answered the Klay Thompson question?
Okay, Steiny. Now, here we go.
Chill out a little bit. It's
And he wants him here, and the big 3 or 4 retiring here is a big deal. But, Steiny, there were some words. There were the cadence of, this is just me now. Steiny, I feel like there could be a scenario to where Klay's not in the Warrior uniform. And he didn't say that. It was just the conversation and everything that's around this thing. Like, this could go a bit different.
I think Klay's going to be a free agent, and we got to acknowledge it. If obviously he doesn't sign a deal this year. Now, the one thing I do think is interesting, and I don't know how it plays in, but they can do the deal anytime during the season. But I got to believe that once the season starts, they'll probably play it out. But Klay's going to become, I think, a free agent and test the market. And I remember when Kevin Durant was here and Joe was asked about the one-year deals that Kevin Durant took, this is where he gets the business. He's like, look, Klay deserves to test free agency. Testing free agency doesn't necessarily mean signing with another team. It just means getting a fair value on your worth and seeing if other teams have any interest in you. So I think that may be coming, but I'm not. If I were a Warrior fan, I wouldn't be panicking yet about Klay.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
Because we got the season before us, right?
Right.
And Klay does, and so does Steph, Dre. But like you said, Steiny, we're all excited about next Tuesday against Phoenix. Shasky asked him about the statue that is Steph Curry. So we all know that's coming. But that's going to be, whenever that day does come, I mean, that's going to be incredible. But Joe, Steiny, here I go, because I'm reading it on the text line. Adam T, on the YouTube chat, First NorCal Credit Union chat, best owner in sports. I'm like, man, that's how I feel about Joe Lacob. You got the 4 rings. You're still going. You're still in it to win it. And that was a man that's still hungry. I told you, now I wasn't stalking you, Joe, if you're listening, but I went to the Kings game late last year, and I'm in the media section just watching my Joe Lacob cam. Steiny, you would have thought he was playing. He cares.
Yeah, see this, and this is, and I know that Joe's in his car listening, so you're going to be
he's probably back at home now.
Are you kidding?
Well, if they went to work, his office at Chase. That's
Chase Centers, man. It's
people calling you Matt Slim Mats. Nice haircut. You're looking good.
Thank you very much. Yeah. What was I going to say now about
Joe Lacob?
Yeah,
he cares.
He does care. Okay. But best owner in sport, better than Robert Kraft.
Well, Robert's been doing it longer. Yeah, but
just a little pushback.
All right, what about the best owner in the NBA right now with what he's done and Chase Center and the community, just all this stuff, the WNBA team, like that means a lot. I'm just, I ain't being a fan. I'm just giving the dude his props.
Yeah, he's all right.
You guys got into it a little bit. Yeah, about the golf stuff.
Oh,
and then you're a tire. He was playing with you.
I wear a T-shirt every day at work.
Steiny, you're fine. He was just playing with you. Yeah, don't get a complex on us now.
No, I would have. You know what? I probably should have put a collared shirt on, come to think of it. But no,
you told him we go way back.
By the way,
before the rings.
By the way, I said to Spadoni before
you
ever came in, I'm like, what are the odds that Guru wears Warriors gear today?
We have a summit today. You guys give me crapola about when we're in the other stuff, and then I'm wearing the home team. Get off me.
Hey.
You hate when get off me.
No.
Yeah.
Not gonna.
I got the home team on, Jack.
I don't you know what? I like that from the front. I'm not crazy about it from the back.
Yeah, the Warriors.
Yeah.
Lil Daryl said that.
Did he really?
What don't you like?
I just don't like that it says Warriors on the back.
I like it.
It's nice.
I'm going to retire it after because I wore this also when we went to Chase. And we'll be there Monday. Monday. We'll be at Chase Center of the station.
Steiny, you dress like you're 13. Probably true.
You look
Probably
good, though.
888-957-9570 is the number if you want to react to the Joe Lacob interview. And listen, the one thing that I've always maintained, before Joe Lacob bought the team, it was owned by Chris Cohan. And they didn't win. They never won. And the one thing that I'll always stand by is during those years when you don't win, when an organization doesn't win, it just brings out the worst in people.
Damn.
It brings out the worst in the media, myself included. It brings out the worst in employees, in the team, all that kind of stuff. When you win, it brings out the best in people, and then it just becomes more fun.
And isn't that, real quick, how it should be just in life across the board?
Sure.
Like you know what I mean? That's why you strive for perfection or to have morale or things going your way in any type of business.
Now, the one thing I will say, and I always say this, because they brought up the booing. They brought up the booing 10, 12 years ago, whenever that was.
That's incredible.
And the one thing that's happened over the years is we've what's the word when we consolidate it down to one reason? Oh, he got booed because of the Monte Ellis trade. I think there was a lot more to it than that. That was a big part of it.
But if the previous owner was bad, you would think there would be claps of like, thank God that tenure is over. You know, he didn't even get that benefit of the doubt.
When he took over the team, he said, there's a banner up there. It's lonely. We're going to get more. They didn't win for 2 years. Like, he didn't win right away. So 2 years after he was the owner, 2 or 3, then it was the Mullen night. So one of the reasons that people booed him that night was because he had promised something big as soon as he'd taken over, and it hadn't come to fruition yet. I also think another big part of it was, and I'm going to actually give him credit for this, I mean, he announced pretty early he wanted to move the team to San Francisco.
Yeah.
And so there are a lot of East Bay people, season ticket holders, that weren't crazy about that.
All right, that's
either.
real.
Then there were little things. Then there were just little things. For example, it was Mullen's night.
17.
And see, I'd love to give him grief about this because Peter Guber's the Hollywood guy, right?
Okay.
Well, why didn't Peter Guber know that when you have a headliner like Mullen, after he's done, it's over?
Yeah.
But Joe spoke after the headliner. It's like
I hadn't thought of that.
The Rolling Stones were playing, and then somebody else came and said, "Well, you're not the Rolling Stones." But anyway, hell of a tenure for Joe Lacob.
And look now, but that man is hungry. Chris Paul, again, Steiny, I hated it when we heard it, but by all accounts, it looks like they're going to have a grown-up on the floor and off. Let's see it.
Well,
and he said he also, real quick, he hated to trade Jordan Poole, and I believe that. Now, I know Jordan Poole didn't have the best season last year, but they raised that guy. They raised him from a young pup to a dog, and he was a bucket getter. He could get to the free throw line. I'm going to miss him. And Joe Lacob, I'm just taking him at his word, Steiny. He said, I hated it. That hurt. That cut him. I'm paraphrasing.
Well, as it relates to Chris Paul, I thought he would be a fit the minute that Phoenix was deciding to move off him, because what did this team have? One of the big problems with this team was kind of their carelessness with the ball, especially late in games. And yeah, Jordan Poole was a part of that, no doubt. But Steph can get a little careless, and Draymond also. Chris Paul does not turn the ball over. He does not turn the ball over. He makes free throws. He makes the right play. And the one thing that I would, if I were another NBA team, the one thing that would worry me a little bit is the Warriors' finishing lineup. Because if they're healthy, it's going to be Chris Paul, Steph Curry. It's going to be Draymond, Wiggins, Klay Thompson. And
what if Jonathan Kuminga's having a night?
Well, I was talking solely for smarts down the stretch. I'm not saying Jonathan Kuminga isn't. Yeah. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you've got an 18-year veteran who's been in a million big games. You got Curry, who's been in a million. It's going to be tough to beat the Warriors, you would think, in the last 3 or 4 minutes of a game that's pretty close. And I know people say, well, they're small as hell. And I always
they talked up in chat. They brought that up. He said, "Hey, but look at the wingspan, Steiny."
I always go back to Don Nelson when size is brought up, because he always said that what he used to do as a coach was he would split up the Warriors at a practice. The six tallest guys, biggest guys on the team, against the 6 smallest guys on the team. And he said the small guys won
I've never heard
single time. And I believe it. And so when people say size and all the Warriors, yeah, it's an issue, but I don't think it's a deal breaker.
Wow. I just had fits in my head. Size matters, and the guys asked him about the Lakers series. Was size, because you kind of came down my road a bit about, it wasn't just size why the Lakers lost to the Lakers beat the Warriors in 6. It was, and Joe mentioned this, his guys had bad series. Like, he said that. He felt it. Well, I said he sounded like Steiny.
There are reasons guys have bad series. They get defended better.
Or they're tired.
Yes.
And you get that when you're older.
Yes.
Or didn't touch a basketball in the offseason. Talking Klay.
See, you know what? That's done.
Those are facts.
What is Klay going 3 for 19 in January, February, March, in May have to do with him not picking up a ball the previous July? Come on. Come on.
Legs start feeling like cement. You know what I mean? You get tired. Fatigue. Fatigue makes cowardice of all men. That's a good one.
Hey. Like Lubman feet?
Dude, what was that yesterday?
Hey, did you get that notice about an earthquake on your phone?
Dude, and when did we start getting the alert on the phone?
I got it on my watch.
And it was the anniversary of the 89 earthquake a couple days ago. Remember that?
I wasn't here. Where were you when the big one hit?
We thought my dad was on the Bay Bridge because he worked in the city in Treasure Island in Steiny.
He was on the bridge?
No, he worked. He got across the bridge, but he couldn't get to us about 12, 15, or 20. So we were all in the garage in the Yoon, tears running down, no cell phones.
Right.
And we thought he got caught in the bridge with it collapsing.
How long did you have to wait before you knew he was okay?
12:15 at night, the next morning. We were crying. My mom. Dude, I'll never forget the day. The neighbors were all at our house.
You mind if I ask you more about that?
No, go ahead.
Okay,
one of the worst days of our life that ended up being the best.
It was like 5 o'clock at night.
Yeah, 5 is when the earthquake happened, but right before
So he was working at 9 to 5?
Yeah.
Okay, so he was driving?
Yeah.
So it took him 7 hours to get home?
No doubt about it. And you remember that?
How come?
Well, you couldn't go back. There was just, his whole way home was just all effed up.
Gotcha.
With Steiny, we really thought like, oh my gosh, waiting on a phone call, and you wouldn't even get, just seeing the stuff. Oh man.
Yeah, I was
there. He had a Datsun Corolla we had, and then he just
had one of those too.
He just putted past us. The garage was open. Dad! Dad! Yeah.
You ever remember those Datsun B210s?
Yeah.
That's what we had.
Look at
one of those. But oh wow, I was back in outside Philly, getting ready to watch a game.
That never happened.
What if I told you I'd run 12 miles that day?
Look at you. You must have got a haircut because you say you run when you get a haircut.
I was in my day off, and I would take a really long run once a week, like really long, 12, 15. And then I would get done, and I would go to Burger King. 2 double beef cheeseburgers, ketchup only, 2 fries, and a big Diet Coke.
So you're Bonte. They got into Taco Bell. Bonte told Joe you're a Taco Bell. He eats Taco Bell.
Joe does?
Yeah. With the fire sauce.
How about Nahigian then coming with geez, Taco Bell's expensive. He's telling a billionaire Taco Bell's expensive. He looked at him like,
yeah.
He didn't know who this guy was. 888-957-9570 is the number. Joe Lacob was in the house earlier, and great interview with him and Chasky and Bonte. And we're going to be playing some of that for you all day. Couple things.
Great interview,
things to bring up. Don't forget.
You ready?
Summit. Summit starts today at 4 o'clock. Fieldwork Brewing Company in San Leandro. and everybody's welcome. We've done 2 of these.
This is number 3
before, and the last one was bigger than the first one, and we hope this one's bigger than the last one. And it's a lot of fun, I think.